Alright guys, today I'm going to be working on my scooter. It's this one right here. It's not starting up anymore, so we're going to figure out what's going on with it. Stay tuned. Alright, so this is a 2015 Tao ATM 50A1, but it's they put a name on it, the Veloz Scoot 50, but it's a ATM 50A1. I know that it's got a dead battery, so first thing I need to do is put the jumper on it, but last time I tried to start it, it sounded like there was something restricted, something's going on. And so I'm going to go ahead and also pull off the transmission case here, or the CVT cover, and I'm going to check and see if the starter bendix is binding. The starter bendix is basically a gear type part that the starter itself acts upon, and then this piece actually turns the engine over. It's kind of like a middleman between the starter and the engine. So I'm going to pull this cover off and take a look at that, see if something's binding up in there. Alright, I got y'all set up on the tripod here. So I'm going to go ahead and get my driver out, and we're going to take off this cover. There's going to be several 8mm bolts around the edge. There's one. I'll just leave that one in there. There's two. That one's missing. That's another one missing. God damn. Oh, whoa. I got three missing. That's an issue. And the other ones are loose. God damn, I bet you there is something binding in there. Man. That's not good. And I've been hearing kind of a weird noise too the last time it was, I rode it. Huh. Yeah, there's definitely something going on here. Starter bendix seems to be alright. Let's see here. That's this piece right here. Not really seeing any obvious damage to it, but the main thing that I wanted to do is put a jump box on it and see if the starter gear turns. So I'm going to try to show that to you guys right now. It's that tiny gear right there, right by my socket. I'm going to try to see if that'll turn when I have the jump box on it. So I'll angle you guys up like that. And then we're going to go ahead and turn that light on. And then now, bear with me for just a sec. We're going to go ahead and pull the battery cover out here. We're going to go and grab the jump box. This one that I got right here. Good old Harbor Freight jump box. And we're going to set that bad boy up. May need to lift the battery out of here a little bit. Let me go ahead and do that. I'll lift this up just a tad, because I find that it's easier to get these hooked up on there if you do that. Okay, we got that positive up on there. And we got that negative. Okay, I'm gonna set you guys up here again. Right there. We're going to see if that gear spins. Turn the key to the on position. Turn the jump box on. No, nothing. Nothing at all. Okay, so that may actually be a good sign, because that must mean that there's an electrical issue instead of a mechanical issue. Let me get my 17 millimeter and just make sure that the engine itself isn't, seized. I seriously doubt that. What I think is going on, to be honest with you, is I think that there's a wiring issue under this front nose panel. Whenever you turn this, there's wires in here that flex. Plus, I've got several aftermarket components added to it. So I'm kind of thinking there may be some kind of issue in there. But just based on the way it was acting last time I tried to start it, I wanted to make sure nothing was seized up in there. I'm going to go ahead and put the starter Bendix back into place. These things are many times kind of a pain in the ass to get back in there. Once you get them out, I can never remember what the optimal way of doing that is. Alright, I got it in there. It's because I needed my other hand. Now, gotta just pop it up into the slot there. Now it's lined up again. And then there's a spot inside this cover right here that stops it from, doing this number while it's in there. It kind of holds it. So it's a good thing that there's no issue there. I was looking for my 17. Let me grab that. Got sidetracked there. Here we go. So I'm just gonna put that right on here some kind of way. Oh yeah, engine is just fine. Okay. Alright, so we're definitely looking at some kind of an electrical issue. So that means I can go ahead and put this transmission case back on. And then I need to find some more bolts, because having one missing, maybe two, it's not a huge deal, but when you got 3 or 4 of them missing on this thing, that's not good. So I definitely need to find a couple more of those. I don't know how they came loose on me. Usually pretty good about making sure that these get tightened back up all the way. At least gonna try to spread them out a little. I feel like all the ones that were on this back side were missing, so at least try to spread the ones out that I got on there for now. For some reason I feel like I got a couple of them up there in my spare nuts and bolts. Might have to check up there. Get these in by a couple threads. We'll hit it with the driver. Okay, so we got one here, one there, we're missing one, then we got one there, missing one, missing another one. This one has to go in, because that holds the rear brake cable. And that's all we got. Let's see if I got another one up here somewhere. Alright, so in order to begin doing any kind of starter checks, we're going to want to have to pull the seat out. Now, you could probably check the starter by reaching in there, but I find that the easiest way is to just disconnect, or to take your seat out rather. And so right now I believe it was on this side, if I'm not mistaken. I have a heated seat on this scooter, and I believe the connector is right in here somewhere. That's right. Pretty sure that it is this one right here. You can see that I just unplugged it with my fingers here, and the other end of the connector is actually connected to the seat. So if you do not disconnect that, that's just the way I routed it. There wasn't much else I could do. But if you don't disconnect that first, it can be kind of a pain to get the seat out of there. So now, next step here is I gotta take out these two 10 millimeters, and then there's a couple more, at least there should have been, yeah, one there and one there. I'm gonna have to take all this stuff out real quick. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and remove the seat from the vehicle. Go ahead and get these two. There's one, two, another one here, 3, 4. Okay? And then there is also a Phillips screw right here. Good old ratchet and screwdriver. Now, move this bad boy. Should be able to lift it up out of there. It's been a while since I've had this thing out. Might be a little stuck. May actually need 2 hands for this as well. Didn't used to. You get these out so they don't fly everywhere. I'm sure the washer's under them well anyway, if I even have those under there anymore. Pretty positive that that's all that there is. There we go. There we go. So we got it up just like that. Seat pulls right out. And I was right. I didn't disconnect the wrong thing. I disconnected my good old heated seat. Got that nice luxury feature on the scooter. But now we can actually see up in here at the engine. Don't mind this here, that's just because I got a performance upgrade, got a big bore kit on there, so that's where the tubing for the emissions system that did exist on here once was. And so I'm trying to angle it here. There we go. You can see our starter is right down here. So I want to see, we may actually end up having to remove the air box as well, or we could try to come in here at it. But yeah, that's our starter right there, and there's a wire on here right here. I don't know if I can get at it or not. May have to take the intake off here to get to it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Looks like we got the one Phillips screw there. So we'll just go ahead and loosen that. If I can get it lined up. There we go. Got that loose. Okay. And maybe, probably not, but maybe this will just come off. Nah, there's not enough flex in it. Oh. I don't have an 8 in the house, but I do have a good old 15/16. And yes, I know, my ratchet's busted. Most of my tools that I have in the garage that aren't in the van are busted. I just look at it like I'm lucky to have multiple sets of them. So we'll go ahead and pull this off of there, hopefully. And that bad boy's stuck on there. Let's see. Come on now. There we go. Nice. Okay, it didn't break, it just slid off. Thought I broke my little nozzle there that this hose connects to, but we're good. It just slid off of there. Sometimes you gotta be just a tad bit rough with these scooters. They are cheap after all. So it looks like we might have a minor gas leak, because that's all oily and gunky there. And they have to monitor that. Go ahead and get some good old brake cleaner. We'll just clean that up real quick. Get you set up again. Get this little straw put in there. Right on. That looks great. Now we'll consider that a throttle body cleaning. Anyways, now that we've got the air filter and intake box whatnot removed, we can get access to the starter wire that I just sprayed all over with brake cleaner. Got you locked in on that. Okay, now need to get something to pop that protective cap off of there. Oh, come on now. Come on now. This is insane. Man, some of these are real tough. I've even seen them on like alternators and stuff too, where they're just a real bear, as some of the older guys would say, to get off of there. Man, I could have sworn this thing was just rubber. It must be real old and brittle. Feels like hard plastic now. There we go, I got that sucker worked off. Okay, now we got access to our power feed to the starter. That doesn't appear to be loose. So the next thing I want to do is go ahead and check this with a multimeter. Alright, so we've got our multimeter set up here, and we want to see 12 volts right here. I'm going to go ahead and put the ground down here on the bottom bolt of the shock, and we're supposed to have 12 volts right now, I do believe, and we're not getting that. And the jump box is on, the battery's still connected. Let's check in a different ground spot. Nope. There are no voltages to the starter. Interesting. Okay. So, let's see. Let's go ahead and check the ground on the starter then while we're over here. What's going on here? It's supposed to... There we go. We got a beep. So we're good on our test leads. Now we're going to put one of our leads here on the body of the starter and our other lead on ground. Okay, so we've got a good connection between the starter case and the transmission case. Just so you guys can see real quick, right down here is where I've been going, and I've been doing on this bolt here, just so you can see what I'm doing in the area that you can't see. So it looks like our ground is good, but we're not getting any voltage here at the wire. I'm pretty sure the way that these are set up, there should be a constant 12 there. Let me turn my key just to see if anything changes on that. So we've actually got the key to the on position now. Yes, and we still have 0 volts at the starter cable. So that is an issue. Okay, so from the starter, which is right here, you got this wire, and it goes up here, through, over this way, up and around, and then it comes up to this post here on the starter solenoid. Then on the other side of the starter solenoid is the positive battery cable that goes directly to the battery. And then also, I believe, yes, there is an electrical, or there's 2 wires on this starter solenoid as well. So we should have voltage at our battery. I know it's dead, but we got the jump box connected and on. So what we want to do is figure out where our voltage is getting lost between the battery and the starter. So actually, I was incorrect. It looks like basically what we got set up here is kind of like how the old Fords were set up. There isn't a constant 12 on this starter, just like a car would be. I'm used to diagnosing that type of system. This has battery on this side, starter on this side, but then you've got a smaller circuit on the back. So essentially, this solenoid here works just like a relay. So when you turn the ignition key, it's going to complete a small circuit in here, which will pull a magnet over to another side, which will complete the large circuit. So I believe anytime that this has 12 volts down here, the starter should spin. And so this should actually only have 12 volts in the cranking position. So tomorrow on part 2, we're going to go ahead and check for 12 volts here while it's cranking, and then we'll do some testing on this starter solenoid as well. So I think that's a good stopping point for tonight. We've diagnosed and determined that it is not a mechanical issue, it is an electrical issue. We know that there's no voltage to the starter, so of course it's not going to start. But I think I'm going to go ahead and put the battery on the charger overnight, and then we'll get back at it tomorrow for part 2 of diagnosing why my scooter won't start. It was running not that long ago, and I generally keep pretty good care of it. But I've been putting it off and letting it sit there, and so now it needs a little bit of attention. So stay tuned for tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and figure out what else is going on with it.